Hi, my name is Aurelio Diaz. I'm councilman of the 5th Ward here in Mansfield. I wanted to do a video tonight because just a few hours ago, I left City Council meeting, and before it ended, we brought up the epidemic of violence here in Mansfield. It is something that is alarming. It is affecting everyone. It's affecting our family members. It's affecting people we grew up with. These senseless killings aren't only destroying lives, they are instilling fear and confusion, and quite frankly, a lot of outrage towards safety services and officials who are elected. As I go on Facebook, I'm seeing tons of comments that are heartbreaking, tons of comments and sentiments of outrage, asking how come no one is addressing this. In the past, when these types of things have happened, the community would come together somewhat. We'd have rallies and town hall meetings, marches, but then after that, the momentum went away. We should never have to wait until more killings happen before we actually do something. So the point of me coming on here is to hopefully let you know that all of us on City Council care. We are aware. We speak to constituents all the time. It affects us as well. So when I came home tonight, I got on Facebook right after City Council, right after talking about shootings and us need to figuring out something to do. I see that someone else got shot just an hour ago. And as I'm reading these comments, it's the same things that we keep questioning. Why is this happening? How come nobody's doing anything? I do assure you that there are things that are happening in our city. We just don't see it all the time. Our Mansfield Police Department is working tirelessly, first, second, third shift. Our detectives, everyone's doing their part. But the question keeps coming up in terms of programs for youth. One thing about Mansfield is we have a plethora of programs for young kids, preschool to possibly 6th grade. The grouping of teens 15 years old and up are the ones who need impactful services. When I was younger, we had rec centers, multiple rec centers. And no disrespect to our Mansfield City parks, but they are a huge contrast to what they were years ago. That's why it is so important that we partner and collaborate with other people who are doing things in our city, whether it's the churches, whether it is young entrepreneurs or neighborhoods, whether it is businesses, and we need to even look outside of our city if needed. Although these shootings are happening in the isolated areas of the city, the trends and patterns of crime occur everywhere else. One thing I spoke about in City Council after speaking to countless community leaders like Bridget Cole, Deanne West Torrance, and some faith-based leaders is Cure Violence. Cure Violence is a program that was created in Chicago. It was originally called Ceasefire. Cure Violence is a public health approach to violence reduction. OhioHealth and NECIC are partnering to bring Cure Violence to our community. Its aim will be to stop violence in Mansfield by using methods and strategies associated with epidemic disease control. It will help detect and interrupt conflict while identifying threats with high-risk individuals. One thing we discussed in council tonight was the importance and implementation of neighborhood watch groups. It's very surprising how many people don't know about neighborhood watch groups, and some people who kind of roll their eyes thinking that neighborhood watch groups aren't really effective, but they're wrong. Neighborhood watch groups, especially the ones that's been going on for a long time in the city, actually bring people together. They review the trends and patterns of crime in their neighborhoods and other neighborhoods. We have an amazing community officer named Officer Alice, who helps spearhead these neighborhood watch groups every month. Something else that we need to do with summer approaching, which all of us are kind of afraid of, because we know once temperatures get warmer, people act out. Youth who are bored make poor decisions. We know that there's a lot of gang activity happening in our community, and we need to get creative with outreach and recreation for those 15 years old and older, which is where mentorship is very important. The importance of strong neighborhoods is knowing that we have to rely on each other. We can't always rely and blame the safety services. We can't always rely and blame the parks. We have to do something as residents as well. That's where we bring our resources and talents to the table. For our seniors, we need to educate them on technology to help keep them safe. Ever since 2020, there's been a huge disconnect with neighbors coming together and having each other's back. We need to work on that as well. This isn't going to go away overnight. We know that. And I understand the frustration and the anger and the sadness that comes with these senseless killings and violence. But we also need to educate ourselves and have communication with the police department and elected officials and leaders in the city and the county. Facebook and Instagram has been a powerful tool for spreading these news, but we all have to do our part in making a difference here. If you would like more information about the upcoming Cure Violence, program, you can call me. My personal number is 419-417-0717, or hit me up here on Facebook. I don't have all the answers and solutions to violence, but I know it is affecting all of us. And none of us needs to live in fear. And most importantly, we need to somehow break this cycle before it keeps affecting our younger generation over and over again. I'm tired of hearing this negative narrative about Mansfield because we're better than that. We've done so much great things in our city. Yeah, we have some crime. We all know that. But it takes every single person, especially the critics, to do something, to be active, to figure out how you want to make a difference. So thank you for taking a moment to hear me rant. But please understand how upsetting it was that we just talked about this an hour ago and then you saw a shooting on Facebook. I believe in Team Mansfield. Like Jody Perry said, I believe we can make changes, but we have to have each other's back. We have to support one another. And I will provide more information about career violence. And please share any ideas that you have, because we all want the same thing in our city. Thank you very much and have a good night.